What's going on, YouTube? This is Lauren once again. I'm definitely going to work on my ums. I definitely have to acknowledge that since the first video I made. This video is actually dedicated to my father, Xavier Clifton Keyes. He was born June 14th, 1955, and he passed May 19th, 2011. So it's been 8 years or so, and my dad would have been 64 today. So I just want to honor him and, thank him for all the contributions that he's made and just a little bit of, add on to the personal testimony. There's definitely more where that came from. But I'm just, grateful that I had the opportunity to have a father, like my dad. He dedicated his life to the field of social work, and I'm trying to do it. I don't know how he did it, among other things in his life that I'm actually getting through and trying to get over. Um, but my dad, he taught me about integrity and you know doing the right thing when nobody's looking, or just trying to be the best person that you can be, despite what other people may say or think and things like that. And for the most part, I was a good student, tried to be respectful as much as possible, you know, at home and in school. And it was because of my parents. However, when he passed away, and even before he passed away, I called myself wanting to do my own thing, like, experience life from my perspective. I don't want to hear what anybody has to say and then things like that. And I pay for it, in terms of, relationships that have been affected. Um, People tend to value reputation a lot, but I'm going to do another video in regards to reputation because it always involves somebody else and not necessarily how you view yourself. So I'm going to definitely do that. I've been meaning to do a lot of videos, but I let life get the best of me. I let fear get the best of me. I let people get the best of me. And that's not the type of person that I am behind closed doors, because between me and you, like, I let these people have it, but it doesn't matter if it's not to their face or out in the open and stuff, where I have a platform to actually speak on my point of view. But Dad, I just want to let you know that I love you, and you've always believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And when you passed away, I took it extremely hard. I didn't, at the time, in the moment, when you have delayed reactions, like, I didn't take it as hard as I thought I was going to initially. But along the way, I became more angry than usual, hurt, bitter. I've experienced betrayal. I'm going to make another video in regards to that. And I've been silenced. I silenced myself. I allow myself to be silenced because the thing about it is, when you've experienced an injustice, or when you experience something that you don't think is fair and it happens and involves other people, for me telling my story means that a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say because they have actually participated in it. And I found that out along the way. But I'm going to save that for another video. I'm going to keep it focused and keep it positive. Dad, I love you. And I'm going to honor you by being the best version of myself that I can be from this point forward. So it's like hashtag restoring the brand over here. And that goes for anybody in the public arena, professionally, personally, on social media. Restoring the brand from this day forward means that you no longer have power or a say so over my life, or you no longer get to tell my story for me because you weren't there. You don't know everything that I've been through. I don't care what's on the dark web. I don't care what videos is out there. I don't care about none of that, because at the end of the day, when I was at my lowest, a lot of people sat back and laughed or sat back and talked, as opposed to going to the source. And being my dad and myself, like, I think we were kind of introverts. I'm an introvert. My dad kept to himself. He was quiet. He always sat back and observed the crowd. And now I see why. Now I see why. But I thank God for you, Dad, because still to this day, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you maintained your integrity. I don't know how you maintained your composure. I don't know how you maintained your grace. I don't know how you maintained your sense of self, for not allowing others to shake you or influence you. And if I can do that and accomplish that in this lifetime, I can honestly say I've done something. Um, you know, you focused a lot on my grades and my schooling and things like that. And, I got I got my master's in social work. You were able to see that you wanted me to go for my PhD, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Especially now that I'm a little older and I've, seen some things and experienced some things for myself. I try to be the best worker I can be. I work with children in North Carolina, originally from, Queens, New York. Now I stay in, Cary, North Carolina. So I work out in Cary, Raleigh, all of those places. So um, it's a very challenging and rewarding job. It's a hard job because a lot of it involves instilling hope for others, especially in certain communities. And I do recognize, like, personally, I'm the type of person that, at one point I thought I could do whatever I wanted. I didn't care. I could do this, that, and then still get up, wash up, and go to work and put my, my suit and tie on, so to speak, and then be like, oh, I'm good. And what had happened was, along the way, my personal gel with my professional gel with my personal, along with some other things, that I had a mental and emotional health crisis in the middle of, you know, a lot that I was dealing with. And I'm going to share another video in regards to that. Um, but we definitely gonna get there, because I'm definitely going to spill it, because there was a time where I allowed everything that was going on around me to silence me, and that ain't happening no more. So now, y'all done made me mad in a good way. Um, and if you're familiar with the TI community or targeted individual community, a lot of what I'm saying, like, I know y'all can read between the lines right now, but family, I'm about to knock these videos out, because I have to, and because there's somebody just waking up trying to figure out what's going on. And it's a disservice for me to sit back with certain experiences and knowledge that I have. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not a know-it-all. At one point, I thought I was. The more you realize that you know stuff, you don't know anything. That's for me personally. I'm going to use I statements on that. So I come to you with confidence, but also humility, because from this day forward, I cannot allow anyone to silence me. I'm definitely going to speak out. But for this Father's Day, dads, it's very important that you know what's going on in your daughter's life. Of course, your son's life, but definitely, most likely, definitely, most definitely your daughter's life. Um, you are her first blueprint on what it means to be a man. And if you're stand up, upright, all of that, walk in that. Children don't operate on a do as I say, not as I do. I know that from personal experience growing up, and I also know that from a professional standpoint. And now that I'm a mom myself, I also know that there are certain things that I want my daughter to do. And she's looking at me, she's emulating me, so I have to walk right. It just is what it is. I can't do certain things anymore or act out in anger due to the injustices that I have faced or due to the injustices that people have faced. Um, to my clients, male, female, teens, adults. I know y'all are nosy. I know people Google me, whatever the case may be. They see my comments on YouTube. Y'all know how I feel about certain organizations. Y'all know how I feel about certain agendas. But I think that I need to set the record straight on certain things, especially involving the police. Um, Now, you see my comments on YouTube. Like, I have no issues with people or organization wanting to protect and serve. My only issue is based on what I've seen in the media, and we know we can't always go on for that, but also what I've seen and heard from families and what I've seen and actually experienced myself involving the police department. We got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of communicating to do. And I don't hate anybody. I don't hate an organization. I don't hate anybody. I have family in the police department. But for me personally, I'm just trying to figure out some things and not, I don't disagree with everybody in that organization, but we have to have a conversation. There has to be, or point me out, somebody point me out, send me a link to what North Carolina police are doing in the community to get rid of some stigmas or get rid of some profiling so that we can actually feel safe and actually communicate and actually have a conversation about how we can make the community better, make a society better. Because it's only based on what I've seen and what I've experienced that I'm having a hard time um, believing and accepting some things in terms of intent. I'm just going to say it like that. Um, so, no, I don't hate anybody. I'm not NWA 2.0 over here. I am a little militant, but I honestly think it's with good reason. But it means nothing if I'm sitting up here screaming in my room and not, advocating for the people or out there really helping the people, which I think I do. And I thank my clients for letting me know that, because when I'm in the field, sometimes I'll be like, why am I here? What am I doing? Like, this is not working. This is not helping. And then you get those phone calls, or then you see people in the street and they be like, I'm so glad you spoke to my kid, or I'm so glad you were there. I try to be as open as possible while maintaining my job. A lot of kids think that adults or professionals haven't been through certain things, but I can speak personally. There's a reason why I went into the field of social work. My dad was a main reason. Dad, you were a really good reason why, but also I just knew that I was a mediator. I knew that I was an advocate. I knew I had the spirit of helping others. I knew being an empath how it feels to endure certain things. So I can empathize like nobody else. But the thing about it is, I wasn't disciplined in a lot of my teachings, because I would teach my students certain things, but then I would allow certain things to still get me upset. Or I was the anger management counselor, but then realizing that I needed to pick up that book myself on some things. So I'm not perfect by any means. Even dealing with young women in the community, you know, who deal with issues of low self esteem, who deal with, risky sexual behavior, who deal with drug use. Been there and done all of that, and I'm still here. So it does, like I say, it does not matter what anybody has to say personally or professionally. Whoever chooses to slander my name, y'all are going to have to deal with that later on. That has nothing to do with me, because I wiped my hands clean of it. I made my amends with my higher power in private. And some people feel the need to do that in public. So, and it's not an oh look at me thing. For some people it might be, but it's oh look at me, like I'm, facing my fears, or I'm overcoming certain things, or I'm asking for forgiveness. I did that in private. The only thing is, I still kept myself in bondage because I didn't believe that I was forgiven. I did not believe that I could move on from certain things. I did not believe that there would be a better life for me when you got people around you claiming to be friends and family, and they smirking when you're actually saying what you're going through or what you're dealing with. So I'm going to leave it like that. However, despite all of that, I still have an obligation to have a different reaction or a different response in regards to how I allow that to affect me or not. So in this very moment, I'm taking a leap out on faith, and I'm facing my fears, because I know once I hit stand and submit, this belongs to you now. It's no longer mine. And I've been very selfish. I've kept my poetry to myself. I kept my blueprints to myself. I kept my documents to myself in regards to how I want to better the community, or what I can do to better the community. And I ask God for forgiveness. But right now, y'all about to get it. Y'all about to get all of it. All of me. I'm about to put out here on this screen like Kanye spit his soul through the wire. I'm about to spit it through the internet right now. But all of that is coming one video at a time, because I know I can be very passionate, and I gotta, center myself before I start doing these videos. But Dad, I love you. Um, if I can be half the parent that you were and you are, then I'll be doing something. I appreciate you and my mom for dedicating your time, your energy to making sure that I had a good life. And I apologize to you for tarnishing your name, or tarnishing the family's name, by my past behaviors and actions. I mean that sincerely, because I always thought of myself as my own individual, but I see in certain spaces or certain places or certain demographic areas that you are a reflection of your parents, or you are your family name and things like that. And because of that, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand in regards to a brand, they're looking at what you represent. They're looking at your integrity. They're looking at how well you do what you do. So in terms of that, I want to offer you my utmost and deepest sincere apology for that, because my actions, I never wanted you to pay dearly for. And when you told me that you died for me, I knew right then and there that it wasn't that typical, oh, I'll die for my kids. And I'm going to get into that in another video. And I really wish you didn't have to. I really wish you didn't choose to. But if you did, I owe it to you, myself, and my daughter to restore the brand and to be the best person that I know how to be. Because a lot of my actions was not based on your teachings or based on your hopes and your dreams for me. I allowed people to get in my ear. I allowed the media to brainwash me. I've allowed that in times where I knew better. I let my emotions cloud my judgment on several occasions, several areas of my life. And now I'm taking accountability for it. I have before, I have in the past, I have for months now. But as I'm talking to these kids out here who have no hope, I owe it to them to put myself out there the best way I know how, and let them know that this ain't nothing new. I value your experience. I hold your experience to the high regard, but this ain't nothing new, because a lot of the things that they are saying are the things that I've been through, or the things that I've seen amongst my peers. And they have to know that their life is just beginning and it's not over. Just based on the past couple of years since 2016, when I've been awakened to certain things or I've been doing certain things. Like if I allowed myself to think that that was it, I wouldn't be here right now to actually post this video. If I allow people to sit there, when you at your lowest is when you want people to offer you their hand. And I did not receive that. I knew right then and there that I'm the only one responsible for my well being, my health, my safety. And I got to pick myself up. I definitely have to pick myself up. And ironically, lo and behold, when you pick yourself up, that's when people going to be coming around again. And I resent it and I respect it at the same time. I say that because a lot of people think mental illness is contagious. A lot of people think emotional welfare, if you're going through something, is contagious. So it's like nobody want that on them when you going through certain things. And it's pretty sad. It does take a strong person to like go dive in there and try to like help somebody, not necessarily pull them up, but like help them along the way. You know what I mean? Because we all have to pull ourselves up. But I do think it's interesting that once somebody decides to make a motion and move on it, you will get support. Like you will. The thing is, you got to keep going. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to be, the best person today, because you're going to have those people remind you of who you were or what you did or whatever the case may be. Bump that. You have to keep going because that's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. Some people have nothing better to do, and some people are actually getting paid to harass you and bring you down. But that's a video for another time. Well, I'm telling you, whoever's hearing me, you have to keep going. And I'm going to put myself on the line, and it's not just me, it's a lot of people out here. It's so many people on YouTube that I respect so much for telling their story and getting it out. And I'm in the background like, oh my God, that happened to me. Oh my God, that happened to me. But I'm in the background. I'm not voicing it with them. And so now you see me here. We about to get it in for real, for real. And I just hope that I have inspired somebody. I'm going to ask the Most High to be with me on the rest of these videos because I'm very passionate and I'm from New York, and I know that can get misconstrued a lot. Like we, angry by nature and stuff. We're not. I am. I'm going me. I am, but I'm working on that. The teacher is also the student, and I tell all of my survivors, like all my survivors know that. I don't like saying clients for whatever reason. All my survivors know that when we get in the intake, when we get in this recession, when we get in group, look, I don't care what's behind my name. I don't care how many alphabet letters is behind my name. I don't care what type of slacks or dress you see me in. I went through it. Maybe not as hard as you and maybe not as easy as you, but I went through some things too. Some things have happened to me. Some things I have allowed to happen to me. Either way, I'm accountable for everything. I'm right in my wrongs. I've made my amends with the Most High, and we just gonna keep it pushing from there. Anybody that has anything to say, instead of sideways posting it or being shady, go to the source. Go to the source and find out what's really going on, and you will be surprised. Perspective is a very complex thing. It's a very complex thing, but trust and being open and communicating is everything. And Dad, I just want to thank you. I remember, those walks to Seatown, in the snow. I don't even know if Seatown is still, open down there and stuff. Like then it got changed to Associated and stuff. But, our trips to, Subway, Sandwich and stuff, like, just things like that. Um, you singing in the shower, like, I believe the children are our future, and people make the world go round, which they do. Like these are songs that I definitely have grown to appreciate and respect, and it means so much more because they were songs that you love. And I just want to thank you on restoring the brand. I'm going to be the best version of myself from this point forward. The hardest thing for me was being a perfectionist and caring about what other people thought. People gonna think what they gonna think regardless whether it's true or not. And you know everybody love a scandal anyway. So how dare me sit back and be a coward when this same thing is happening to other people and it might just be me. And I'm not saying it from a narcissistic perspective. I'm just being real. It just might be me to deliver the message to somebody that they've heard over and over again, but that time it's gonna click. And how dare me sit back, and I apologize for that, sit back in fear of what other people thought about me or my professionalism when we got these kids out here going through it. And we got these kids out here being lied to by their parents who don't want to admit some of the same things that they've been through. I found that so ironic, but not really because I did it, but I ain't gonna do it no more. So I think I kind of ranted on for a little bit, but happy birthday, Dad. Happy Father's Day. I love you. There are times where I feel you here. There are times where I feel so lost. And I have to think about the things that you say or what you would do. And I can't do it exactly like you because, once again, I'm still working on some things. But you gave me a very good map and a very good blueprint and a very good guidelines or on what I'm supposed to be doing or what I'm supposed to be looking for. And I would love, at this point in my life, I would love to have a conversation with you because you left this realm when I was 25 and I'm 33 now. And I would give anything to have a conversation with you just for validation, because there are things that you said and it kind of creeped me out a little bit. Like, I remember like we had a family reunion and, you was just looking out into the horizon, out there, because it was down here in North Carolina. And you was like, this is really good. I'm glad I came because you never know who's not going to be here next year. And I'm just like, why would you say that? Like, because my dad is like a positive person. Like, my dad is like really, really positive. The glass is half full and all that stuff. So, towards the end of his life in this realm, he started saying like cryptic things. And I'm like, why are you saying that? Like, what, he would say, like, I would die for you. And I'm like, well, I'm not asking you to. Like, I still need you. And so, like he said, you never know who's not going to be here next year. And next year he was gone. So I do believe my father knew some things. I do believe my father knew a lot of things. Um, I would love to share, something that he wrote eventually. I'm gonna ask my mom's permission and stuff in regards to that, even though I don't need it. It's just out of respect because she gave me one of his pieces. It was a short fiction story, but I don't think it was fiction, but we not gonna go there just yet. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know like what's really been going on and stuff, and why I had my little breakdowns on Facebook or social media is because I was dealing with a lot, and we about to we about to get it out there. We about to lay it out there because I'm no longer going to walk in fear for my daughter or any future children I may have, or these children out here right now that's probably going through the same thing that I was going through. So with that being said, hashtag restoring the brand. Hashtag Project Escape, Xavier Clifton Academy of Personal Excellence, Personal Empowerment. I'm still working on that, but it's mine because it's my father's name. So we just gonna get at that. And you may also know me, I have another channel. I'm probably going to put it on this channel, the No Shade Initiative. This was a nonprofit organization I wanted to start for children and young adults, and yeah, children and young adults who have experienced workplace harassment, bullying, covert harassment, cyberbullying, all of that stuff. Because it's something that I've experienced along the way, and it has to get out. It has to happen. Now, in terms of the logistics and the breakdown and the blueprint, I'm not gonna worry about that right now because I've spent years worrying about how I'm going to do something, and that list never got crossed off. So now I'm just going to put it out there and let the chips fall where they may because I should have done that years ago. So, with that being said, I'm coming. I'm coming and I'm here. I apologize for whoever I make upset, but I have to tell my truth. And I love you and I thank you. And this is just the beginning. So, thank you for listening. All right. Take it easy in the comment section because I know I'm kind of shining right now. But I love y'all and I thank y'all. And just God bless whoever's listening right now and allow me to share just, a piece of my truth right now. And it's just the beginning. So I thank you. I love you, Dad. Happy birthday. Happy Father's Day. And you are dearly missed, like dearly missed. But I'm about to pick it up. Thank you.